Okay, so we've made it to level 4. Most people can make it here, but have a lot of trouble with this. This is the ice cream machine level. So pretty shortly we're going to get a shield, which we can use by pushing N. And what's really tricky is figuring out when we have to use the hard hat and when we have to use the shield to stop the oncoming ice cream scoops. I'll comment on it when I do both. In addition, there are these little mounds of ice cream on the ground. You'll move really slowly through them unless you use the bubble. There are also places where you'll have to use the pogo stick in order to get over higher jumps, so pretty much the only tool we can't use is the shovel. It's important to remember that if we're using a tool, we're going to put away the shield or the hat if we had it out, so you have to be really careful about when you make your pogo stick jumps or when you're rolling through using your bubble shield. So, right about where I am, you'd already want to be thinking about which tool you were using, actually pushing which tool you were using. I'm going to try to jump and hit this ice cream cone. I'm going to think I should use the shield, but it's actually a little too high for the shield. I really should have pulled out the hat. Losing lives in this level is really bad because you still will be stunned for a moment, but ice cream cones can still come, and if you're unlucky, you'll be hit by 3 in a row, and it's game over. I would have been right in using my helmet there, but that's okay. What I wanted to stop and comment on was that by this point, you should be far enough ahead of Scram, the guard, the red guy that's shown on the top, that you can actually afford to just stop and wait for a couple cones if you don't want to take the risk of losing a life by hitting the cone. So clearly using the shield here is going to be the right option. The cone can even be slightly below you when you use the shield and it'll still be okay. What fouls a lot of people up is judging, will that cone be below me or will it kind of be below me and still hit me? This cone would actually clearly still hit me, but once halfway across the screen you're deciding, do I want to jump or not? Sometimes it's a little harder to judge. So a good rule of thumb is just always assume that if a cone looks like it may be close to your feet, it's going to hit you, and use your shield. Okay, we've made it to level 5, which is stowaway sting. So most people have trouble in the previous level, but some get stuck here. So every tool can be used. I'm going to hold off on talking about the shovel till we're actually in gameplay. This run I didn't end up using it, but some runs I do very rarely. The bubble will let you avoid things that would normally hurt you, so places where the dock has been broken, so you've got wood pointing up, or where there's a collection of objects that look like fish hooks and ropes and so forth. When you hit them with the bubble, you'll actually bounce a bit, so keep that in mind. There's also 2 kinds of enemies, the Skeeth, which can be blocked by using the shield, and the Kugra, which can be blocked by using the helmet, because of the way they punch. They'll sometimes be visible already, sometimes they'll pop up from under a crate when you're close. They won't move the crate up, though. We'll see as we play through the level. Okay, so now that we're actually playing the level, there's not going to be a really good place for me to show you, so I'll just comment on it while we're running through here. If there's a object that's going to hurt you that's on a crate, if you shovel the crate, because the crates can be destroyed by shovel, when you shovel the last crate, the object, instead of falling to the ground, will just disappear. So this is a good way to get rid of obstacles that would normally trap you. For example, if there's an obstacle right in front of a stack of 4 crates, then what's going to happen is you're just going to keep bouncing on the obstacle over and over, and you can't use your pogo stick because, well, there's no solid ground there. So sometimes you just have to end game when that happens, but it's really rare. Okay, so this is the end of Dungeon Dash with AAA. If you play with Abigail, from what I've heard, you can only get 4,000 points. That's 800 per level instead of 1,000 per level. I don't think there was anything too tricky in this game. You should be able to do it in 3 to 5 minutes if you don't have really slow flash gameplay. I don't recommend trying to get the game to run as fast as you can by having it in small with low quality, because it's a lot harder. Alright, well, thanks for watching.